Ariel Helwani post-fight at UFC 129 alongside UFC President Dana White. And Dana, I know you're tired, so we'll make it quick. First things first, GSP's performance. What do you think of it?
Listen, George St. Pierre, I think he won the fight. He was dominant. Something wrong with his eye. If you're looking for criticism from me, which sounds like you are, the only criticism I have is he was throwing a weird overhand right, like this looping overhand right, which I've never seen him do before. Usually he throws that straight Superman punch. His punches are straight down the pipe. I was trying to figure out why he kept throwing the same punch all night, and he's throwing it hard like he was trying to knock him out, like he was trying to force the knockout. So
Dan Henderson caught Jake Shields with that kind of punch, so maybe he was trying to recreate that.
Maybe. Dan Henderson didn't finish him with it.
That is true. So is the criticism fair? Because, you know, I'm sure you heard from some fans and people talking already. He's not going for the finish. He doesn't seem to have that killer instinct. Would you agree with that?
Nobody said anything to me. When I was leaving here tonight, everybody said great fight. Nobody said anything negative about the fight whatsoever to me.
So no problems in terms of the fact that he hasn't finished anyone in a while or anything like that. He's just fighting tough guys, in your opinion.
Yeah, listen, when you're at the level he's at, you're going to continue to fight the best guys in the world, and you know, George St. Pierre keeps winning. He keeps winning. He isn't catching anybody with any exciting front kicks or anything like that, but he's a winner.
What do you think of Jake Shields?
I thought Jake, you know, he busted up George's eye. I don't know what his game plan was. I was always interested about in this fight because I honestly didn't know what was going to happen. I said maybe George is going to use his wrestling defense to stand up and try to use his hands against Jake. And I always wondered if Jake could take him down. I thought maybe George would say, I'm a great wrestler, I'll take him down and get right into his game because I know I'm better than him at that anyway, and beat him there. I honestly didn't know what was going to happen.
I'm not even going to ask you about Anderson Silva at this point, but is there even any fight at 170 that interests you for George?
Yeah, there's always going to be fights out there at 170 that are interesting. There's always going to be new guys coming up. You know, Nate Diaz is out there.
Even though he lost tonight. Or are you talking about Nick Diaz?
Sorry. Yeah, Nick Diaz, yeah. I'm tired.
Yes. But can you make that fight?
Can I make that fight? We'll see what happens.
He says he wants to go box first. What is the likelihood of him boxing before ever even fighting back in the UFC?
Well, he fights for Strikeforce. You know, he's a Strikeforce champion. He wants to box. I'm going to go to Stockton this week and talk to him.
You're making an appearance in the 209?
Oh, yeah, I am.
Don't get slapped.
It's going to be tough to do there.
All right, so we'll move on from that fight. Randy Couture, you said earlier this week you don't think he's done. After tonight's performance, do you think he's done?
Yes. Yes, I think Randy retired. I'm sure he'll hang it up now. It's been an awesome career, man, and he's an incredible human being.
What do you make of this whole Steven Seagal phenomenon with these kicks?
I don't know. Again, I walked out of the octagon tonight, and Steven Seagal grabbed me. Said I told him to do that. I told him to do it. We worked on it, and it worked.
And Mark Hominick, obviously his performance was very inspiring. The crowd loved it. Did you think they should have stopped the fight between the 4th and 5th round when he had that huge bump on his forehead?
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. What I do think is that this isn't a town where they do tons of fights. This isn't like Las Vegas where tons of fights happen. I don't know who this doctor was tonight. I don't know his name. I don't know anything about him. He did an incredible job. I've been in states where fights happen all the time, and I've been horrified a couple times by what happens. This guy was on top of it. He went in there. He checked out the hematoma. He talked to Hominick, made sure he was all right. Then when he went back again, he made sure his peripheral vision was there. He talked to him again. I think that this doctor tonight did a fantastic job. The weird thing about hematomas when they get back that big, it's called what you call a cosmetic injury. It looks so freaky that it freaks people out, so you could stop the fight. Had he stopped the fight at the end of the 4th round, I would have had no problem with it whatsoever. But he went up there like a real fight doctor, did what doctors do, checked this guy out, made sure, because to be honest with you, hematomas look goofy and crazy, like he's got a head grown out of his head. But what was more dangerous was the mouse underneath his eye here and the cuts that he had under his eye, because the swelling makes you lose your peripheral vision. Whoever this doctor was here tonight, you know how I am when I smash officials and referees and everybody else. I commend this doctor tonight for doing an incredible job.
I know we always talk to you, and I'll end on this. We always talk to you about the fights, what's next, all that stuff. But for once, can we take a step back and can we get your thoughts on what this meant to you? Someone who 10 years ago, you guys took a chance on this, and now you're 55,000 people. This was a surreal event. This was unlike any other sporting event a lot of us have ever covered. What was it like for you? And did you even get emotional at one point looking at how far you've come?
I did, and when I say emotional, it's like I got goosebumps so many times over the last 4 days working on this show, and this was a huge milestone for us, and it was awesome. It was a great night. I mean, I don't even know what to say. It was my biggest fear wasn't, oh God, what's it going to be like? It was, could we pull off, could we pull off what we do in a 15,000 seat arena in a 55,000 seat arena? And I think we did tonight. I think everybody who came here tonight had an incredible experience. There were a lot of great fights on the card, and I'm really happy.
Highlight of your career?
Without a doubt.
Thanks for the time, UFC 129, Rogers Center, a historic event. We can't wait for the next one here. Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.